All right, that was Flow Rida with Cake. Flow Rida with Cake. And 99%. We are back with Derek Ystebo.
Ystebo.
Just pronounce it like
we're going to get you right by the end of the show.
No,
That's
we
the
will
goal.
not. No, we not. You'll be lucky if I'm not calling you David by the end of the show.
Oh, I get that from my mom enough. There's a lot of D names in the family. There's
is there?
a Derek, a David, a DJ, a Dalton, a Dallas, a Dakota, a
Oh
Dylan.
my. Who did that?
I don't know who
was
started
that. Mom
that.
or Dad? Dad was just like, let's have a theme and let's do that. All right. Well, we are moving on to our next segment, which is Fargo Fun. We are going to talk about Zumba at the Broadway Square.
Yes. This is the second year that we've been a part of this. I think it's a really, really great thing that we're doing. The YMCA is partnering with the Fargo Parks to put on fitness classes at Broadway Square in downtown Fargo. Other gyms do participate as well in different formats, but for the Y, we do provide their Zumba classes throughout the summer. It's on Wednesdays. Weather permitting, of course, I always put that caveat out there at 5:30. It is free and open to the public. And the reason I put out that weather description is because tomorrow, if we've seen the forecast, it's very warm, very humid. So they've already kind of preemptively decided to move that class indoors. So I'll actually be at the Fargo YMCA. But again, still free and open to the public. That's something that's very important. They do have a pay what you can give model. Suggested donation for that is $5. Really just to kind of help build up that wellness program that they're championing at Broadway Square. And it's not just me. I have another Zumba instructor, Cassie, who joins me on stage. We kind of go back and forth. Yes. She brings the energy I need some days.
Or maybe gives you a break. Are you guys
Also
you go
a break.
every other, or how do you guys layer that?
So I think the first year we did it, we did sets of 4.
Oh.
But now we kind of found a different cadence there where it's like almost every 3 or so. And I think that's better because sometimes in the sets of 4, especially if you're outside,
Yes, by that fourth
it
one.
can be very draining. You
You're
look
exhausted.
out there and you're like, wow. Which is actually kind of shocking that, teaching indoors and then teaching outdoors, you'd think wouldn't be that big of a shift, but it seems a lot more draining being out in the public, being outside in the elements.
So are you up on the stage there? So because Broadway Square, for those who aren't familiar, I don't know who wouldn't be familiar, but it's like this big open square surrounded by the high rise and the downtown, and then you've got that open grass area, and then you've got a little bit of concrete and like a big old stage.
Yes.
I imagine you're up on the stage.
I am on stage when I don't run off the stage. Something about me as a performer, I like to get amongst the people performing, but yes, 90% of the time I am on stage. The participants are in that green space there. And what I really like about this event, again, since it's open to the public, you have people that come there from the start of class, but I really like watching the people that walk by on Broadway and they see what's happening, they hear the music, and they just join in for a couple songs.
And how do they know it's free and open to is there like a big sign, or people just randomly jumping in their jeans? How is that?
I mean, that is actually the case there. They just kind of hear it, and then usually a participant will say something, oh, come on and join. If I'm out in there, I'll tell them to join as well, just kind of jump in and do a few songs. And
you get a lot of looky-loos. So when we do
absolutely.
it at the YMCA, one of the things that happens a lot is people will just kind of stop at the door, and you'll get like these groups of 3 or 4, usually like young men who are just like, what is this going on? And like staring. None of that going on at the square? Or?
Well, yeah, I think it's more open to that. You've got all the places downtown. There's a lot of seating in the square area as well. So, people are just sitting, enjoying something to eat, ice cream, and they'll hear the music, and they'll see us moving around, and get some. Again, that also encourages people that have maybe never thought of doing that class to like, hey, I'll do a song here.
I think people enjoy watching it. I think
absolutely.
they think it's really interesting watching it, because it is really neat to see everybody moving all at one. Because it's kind of, why don't you describe Zumba? Maybe some people don't even know what Zumba is.
So what Zumba is, it's a dance class, a dance cardio class that uses Latin-inspired music as the primary focus there. But it's really branched out since then, really took it on an international flair, not just Latin in origin there. And what we do is throughout the class, we go through a number of songs. We kind of cue or kind of direct people to go a certain direction. And then it's like follow the leader. The person on stage is the leader, and you kind of follow directions. And throughout the class, we work a whole body workout there. A lot of it is legs because, again, you're dancing, but you work arms, you work core especially, and everything really gets worked out throughout that. But, again, I think it's a great, really easily accessible fitness program.
So one more time before we cut to our music break again, When is this? Where is this? How do you find it? How do you join
Yes. So there's multiple ways to get this. It is 5:30 p.m. on Wednesdays at Broadway Squares. Again, weather permitting. You can check out the Fargo Parks event calendar for Broadway Square. Just a note for this upcoming week, we are at Fargo YMCA due to the weather. You can also get any updates to scheduling actually at my Facebook page, which is Zumba Fitness with Derek.
it? Very good. If you haven't noticed, the theme for today is Zumba music. Next, we're going to be doing my personal favorite song, which is Let's Get Ridiculous. Who's that by?
It's LMFAO.
By...
Or is it Red Foo?
Red Foo.
It's Red Foo of
actually by
LMFAO fame.
of LMAF, yes, of those, of that.
Of those
All right.
letters.
And this is one where we certainly get ridiculous on the Zumba floor. So here goes.